Welcome to the What's Good Bro podcast, man. We are back for another episode. I'm really excited about this episode. It's a big episode for real. We are a partial crew with a nice filling guest, one on the table, one behind the scenes. Let's just go around the table and say what's up to everybody. We got Sonny in the building.
Hey, what's good, y'all?
We got Dre. He got a sexy voice on it.
What's good, everybody?
I had to give him that.
I had to give him the baritone.
Okay. I had to.
I'm good. What's up, y'all?
Hey, man. What's good with you? Oh, man, we can get the camera name for real.
It's all good. I appreciate y'all having me. I go back to Plunk. I have my own, platform that I'm just starting. So this is next level. I appreciate y'all guys for having me on.
Of course, man. Definitely excited for this conversation that we're about to have, man. I'm glad you're here. The fella in the back, yo. Appreciate you showing up, man.
You can say something if you want, no pressure.
You gotta say it into the microphone.
I'm glad to be here.
Hey, yo, peer pressure to motherfucker. Hey, yo, this is gonna be a really good episode. So our main topic, before we really get into the local and the pop stuff, is the state of masculinity. We really want to talk about what it is and what it's like, what it means to be a man in today's society, and really have a good conversation about that, chop it up, and really try to get some, I don't want to say answers, but just some thought-provoking conversation. That's what we want to do. We want to spark that conversation and see where it moves for real. So like we normally do, we start with the local stuff, and let's do that. I'm sorry.
We don't even do
Yeah,
we don't got to local stuff.
Yeah, we got to check in first.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, this is a big check-in too.
Yeah.
It is a huge check-in. So I'm gonna start with Dre.
Alright.
How you been, bro?
Yo, actually, it's been a wild week for me too. I got laid off and employed in the same day.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
That sounds like God was working.
Laid off and employed in the same day.
Wow.
Getting paid a nice amount more.
Okay.
They got paid for this all last week without having to work.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Woo.
That's a blessing.
Yo. So was there not a lot of stress in that moment? Like, so to lose a job,
anytime I have to go through a background check, I'd be like, hey, I don't know who's doing this background check because something might pop up, and something might not.
That's crazy.
So yeah.
But you all gravy.
Yeah, I'm all
Was it
good.
with the same company or a different company?
It's so weird that my old company, we were contracted by the company I'm now employed by. So the old company shut down, and then who we were contracted by gave me an offer. I was like, well, shit. I know y'all got money, so
Right.
That's what's up, man.
That's really dope, yo. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Ooh, that's.
Right.
I hear that, yo. Oh man, Sonny, you want to be next, yo?
Yeah.
And take your time, man.
Yeah. So as far as in the hub and amongst my brothers here, this will be actually my last episode in person for a while. Not permanently, but just for a while because by the grace of God, I got a new job opportunity.
The bag, yo.
By the grace of God, got a new job opportunity. I'll be moving out of state. For that, I'm really excited about the opportunity. But I'll still be doing my best to provide content and still being a part of the team any way that I can. But this is gonna be a good episode. We're gonna give it our all, and thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for being so supportive, man. But yeah, this will be the last in-person episode for a while. So this is a big one for me.
Yeah, man. Definitely gonna miss you, and congratulations, big time.
Congratulations.
A lot of work for that. So happy to see you all pay off for real.
Thank you.
So Jay Plunkett, this is where we just do a round of check-ins. How you been? How you going?
To be honest with you, I've just been grinding and growing. Getting better every day. Learning a lot. Trying to read more, trying to be a better man in this and it's in this process, to be honest with you. Like I said, been focusing more so on mind, body, and spirit. You know, and you know, I mean, I know y'all remember being in your 20s. You know, it's a struggle.
Damn, not my 20s no more.
You know, but like I said, just trying to get better every day. Work is going well. I'm actually making the most money I've ever made. You know, but I'm still at that point where it's like, you know, I'm tired of being the hardest worker for someone else, right? Be the hardest worker for myself. Amen. So, you know, I'm just trying to get my time back, you know?
You gotta try to reclaim your time.
Yeah. tired of punching the clock, you know? But, yeah, man, I just been in a great space, man. So, and like I said, this platform is the next step for me. So, like I said, man, just glad to be here.
We're definitely thankful to have you, man. I'm glad you showed up and came out, man, and continue grinding, yo. Grinding and growing, yo. That's a good saying right there, for real. And just for myself, man, you know, I just feel blessed, highly favored, for real, man. Just to see everybody growing and moving. Doing the same myself. I set my date for a certification, so I'm about to just be in the books, staying low and.
That's what's up, man.
You know what I'm saying, yo? Just steady grinding, dog. You never stop grinding and growing, yo. It's real life, yo. And to be in your 20s and have that mindset, yo, just keep it up, dog. Just know you on the right path, man. That's 100.
So you know, just with that, like, you know, I was actually at a bar and I was talking to like a guy in the Army. He was stationed here. He's actually from his home base is in Nevada, and we had a conversation about like all the things that he was getting involved with, just constantly trying to move like from you know, one job to the next, like, you know, just trying to progress, because he's an engineer for the Army, for the U.S. Army. So he told me this line, and it's a bar, and he said, "Life is for the living, never stay stagnant." Like, just always have something, continue to live life. Don't just participate, actually don't just exist, participate in the living of life, because that's what it's for. So always try to do something. If you just sit down doing nothing, you're doing something wrong. So I was like, wow, like, and I just felt like, you know, dropping that bar, man, because I feel like every brother here is like constantly just trying to figure out what the next thing is, and that's what life is for. That's why you woke up, like, you know, like, just to figure out. If you fail going 100 miles an hour. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just keep pushing, keep going, and like keep figuring it out. That's what life is for.
Go get it. Alright, so now we can move on to the pop culture and the local stuff. Honestly, I do want to just start off with one of, you know, 90s greatest rappers.
I'm really sad Tweezy not here.
Yeah,
I know that he would just give us a whole verse right now.
Real talk. This is definitely a Tweezy segment right here, man. But we gotta give prayers, get well soon, or, you know, just keep fighting the fight to DMX, man.
No doubt.
It was really tough to hear the news that he was in critical condition, and, you know, on social media, everybody playing different stories and interviews of his. But I really just hope that he can push through in this, man.
He's a legend.
A living legend. When I saw it, I was like, this can't be real. You know, Twitter always trying to kill somebody. So,
it's one of those things you hope it's not reality at all. But it's one of those things that I know we say, like, you know, pray for this person, pray for that person. But when you're talking about DMX, after he meets somebody, after he does anything, he always says a prayer.
Not even that, bro. I went to a DMX concert. After every song, he said a prayer. After every song.
So if there's anybody that really needs our prayers, that deserves them, is this guy. You know,
especially since the way that he like grew into, or came into his addiction, where it's like his mentor when he was 14 gave him a blunt laced with crack. And ever since then, he's never been able to.
That's
bad luck on life.
That apparently like probably started an addiction. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely did. Especially when you know, you 14. Not only are you young and impressionable, but this was someone that you looked up to for guidance, and he set you up for a lifelong failure.
Well, you have to also think he probably didn't think nothing of it when he gave him the blunt. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's just a little."
I mean,
little
number
something.
one,
He
you
probably
shouldn't
didn't
be
think.
giving a 14-year-old a blunt to
Blunt,
begin
period.
with.
What, lace blunt?
But then you
Yeah.
laced it.
Like, you knew what you were doing, man.
But that could have been like, man, yeah, have a good time, you know. But what we know about drugs now is different than what we knew back then. If you really want to be honest, like.
And when I look back on my life, like the younger I was, the more possible I can get addicted to something.
Mm-hmm.
So like, giving a child a lace blunt, that takes his trajectory,
Far.
when it comes to, drugs and stuff. So.
Yeah, if you get a taste for something that young,
Exactly.
yeah, you can build an addiction to it.
Yeah.
So praise up, man. Where y'all want to move on to next?
The shoes? It gotta be the shoes.
Gotta be the shoes.
We go from DMX to Lil Nas X.
To Lil Nas
Nas
X.
X.
All right. Has everybody seen the shoes?
I have.
Have y'all seen the video?
Video too?
I wish I could see it.
It's
It's disturbing.
It's very disturbing.
It's really weird, but
Okay.
I mean, it was made following COVID protocol, so he was the only one in the video playing. He did a Medea. He played all the roles, and
Yeah.
we know he gay, so he was doing gay stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, the moment he tweeted that, when he became a rapper, he tweeted,
I still don't believe it.
And
I
he
think he's
went
just a
downhill
troll,
from that,
and he
huh?
knew that.
You
shit
think
was
he
wrong.
just trolling
I think he's a
the whole
troll,
gay
yeah.
thing is a farce?
I don't think I think he's a troll.
I
Yeah.
was but you got to see the movie.
Bruh.
No,
Like, 'cause,
if he
Because
not,
I
if
know
he's
gay
not
people, and I ain't none of them going out like that. That's
if he's not dead gay, he's doing a hell of a job.
Job, that's what I'm
Fooling
saying.
us. He's doing what?
bruh.
Then he go to the Grammys as the gayest cowboy of all time, like with the straps, with the pink straps, the whole outfit.
Yo, the cloud is terrible.
And once I found out he was gay like that, I just looked at the old town
A roll
song,
like-
totally different. Like I know what he meant on that, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
So are the shoes fire though? Do y'all like them?
they look nice, but I would never.
What kind of
get 'em.
questions?
They said they have.
Are the shoes fire? Yeah, they hellfire.
But they said they have
And brimstone.
No,
It's fire.
Is it true that they have actual
Hell
blood in it?
Hell
Oh, okay.
no.
I mean,
It's 2021, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's America, bro.
What, she think somebody gonna pop that shit open and find out?
Test this
Like, just, yeah, that's blood.
Yeah, that's man. That sure is.
You taste it, yo?
They made in China, so you never know.
Yeah.
I know
They
blood
be
when I taste
sacrificing them kids.
He was selling them for like $1,000 each.
it. Something crazy.
Sold out of all of them.
Did they actually sell them, or?
Yeah.
Because I know Nike put like a cease and desist.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they
Like
actually,
before they
gave them out.
did it, I think he got some off. Like he actually
Yeah.
sold it.
But
Sold some.
did they actually get to the point
Yeah, I
where
don't
they
think
would
they-
be shipped out?
Yeah, I don't
and
think that's the
delivered?
point it was shipped.
Mm.
But they was.
So they might. I mean, of course they're gonna make sales because he's a troll, so he
Yeah.
know what he do.
Yeah.
So what was the deal with the Nike thing though? So like, did he, push it through? Nike? Did Nike?
I think he decided.
No,
So the big,
another company designed the shoes,
uh,
and Nike they didn't even put a cease and desist on Lil Nas. They put it on the company that designed the shoes. So I guess those shoes can't be made, but the same company did like Angel shoes before, and they was able to sell those. So
yeah, it's weird because like the whole thing. I think it's an actual like what type of shoe? Like a Nike Shock. It's a Nike Shock.
Like Air Max.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So it was a
like
standard.
97s.
It was like a standard shoe. It was just like additions to it. It was just like customized. So
Yeah, I think the line for me was the blood, quote unquote blood. Yeah, everything else.
not the little satanic symbol that was dangling on the front of the shoe. That didn't throw you off at all.
I mean, it's Lil Nas X, so it's like, I don't.
I'm gonna be honest. The whole shoe fucking blew me. Like the shoe blew me. Like I was like, why? Like we know you're extra. Like we know, we get it. But this is ham.
Yeah, but the fact that they sold out, that's why you did it.
If you got them for free, would you win?
No, hell no.
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 Just
I'm
ask.
gonna get shut down if I'm what?
He said, not, but I keep them though. We sell them
Right,
things.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh man.
You gotta wash your hand with holy water when you touch that.
Exactly.
Yo.
I thought I had to do that looking at the video.
Yo, what?
Yeah.
How long is the video?
I couldn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I watched it. It's very disturbing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a song of 2021, so it's probably like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Once I seen
It was enough. It was enough.
It was enough.
Once I seen him sliding down the pole from heaven to hell, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta cut this off.
Think about that. The nigga slid from a stripper
Stripper
pole
pole
from heaven to hell to
hell.
give the devil a lap dance.
Yeah. Yo, come on, bro.
That's
Like,
OD.
Yeah.
That's OD.
All right, yo, we going. This is
Yeah.
Easter Sunday.
Yeah. Oh.
That's wild.
look,
That's
my only
wild.
thing is, parents, don't let your kids watch that shit. That's
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Wow.
hey.
But how much control can you really have over kids, especially at a certain age, because they're going to be around their friends, they have access to the internet, they're going to get to it. It's all about like what you put in their head before they step out into the
You
world.
can
That's
watch
true,
that
yeah.
shit easily.
But you can't block what their friends got on their phone.
Yeah.
Like when they
It's
step
COVID.
away.
Ain't nobody going to see their friends.
You say that all you want. They figuring stuff out, yo.
But I had a conversation with a gentleman that's closer to 40 in his 30s, late 30s, and he was like, play, some of your music, and I just kind of did a little mixture of it or whatnot, and I knew where he was getting at with it. So after I finished,
You trying to play the most conscious shit.
yeah, I was trying to play the best. But before I did it, I had gave him a speech. I'm like, look, bro, our generation ain't about lyrics anymore. Like, it's more so about the beat, just enjoy it.
What the fuck do you have you listening to? KRS-One?
No. So I played my shit, and then
What you play?
I played a little bit of I know everyone like Drake. I'm not a big Drake fan. I played a little bit of my favorite. Of course, I'm a Gucci Mane fan. But I prepped them. It was a lot more, but I prepped them for it, and so it's a message in
You
the
can't
story.
rap a 40-year-old
Yeah.
for Gucci Man.
Yeah, no, but see, like he told me to play the music that I like. You know what I'm saying? So I started playing it, but I felt like while I was playing it, I had to represent the younger guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then I started playing, J. Cole,
Chance the Rapper?
Yeah, like more so lyrics, lyricists, right?
Throw some Kendrick in there, like
Yeah, I threw that. I had to play Kendrick was
Right.
first. You know what I'm saying? But no, it was a message in it because after I finished playing, he's like, all right, let me pop mine, and he went straight to Jay-Z. I was like, bro, it's no comparison to.
See, you gonna just play the GOAT?
Yeah. I'm like, it's no comparison there. But he had an interesting take. He said, picture, people who listen to music as junkies, crackheads, if you will, and picture the artists as like the dealers, So back in the day, they pushed out good music because this was their passion. They wanted lyrics and everything like that. They actually took the time to sit down and think about what they were saying, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays, the artists, aka the drug dealers, are now just pushing music out just to get paid.
Yeah.
So it's like they putting out bad product and it's corrupting our ears, corrupting how we.
Well, I mean, the drug reference is,
Yeah.
when you putting out the pure stuff, like your customers aren't affected as much by like pure cocaine versus you start cutting it with a whole bunch of other stuff. That's when they start wilding out.
Well, the bragging is different too because like you could say someone like when Jay-Z was in his prime, like the brag was like I can rhyme better than you. I'm a better rapper than you. Now
These niggas don't care about music.
they care about money. Like I'm flyer than you. Like
That was the thing about it. Like it was more so. It's not about the music anymore. It's about the money.
Yeah.
The rapper now is talking about, oh man, I'm
icy.
I'm icy. I'm flying private and this, that, and the third. It's not about, oh man, I have better lyrics than you do. I'm the better lyricist.
That's real.
So it was it was an interesting topic. That because I seen something on social media when they said this is Yaz Nas versus our Nas.
Hold on, that's not our Nas.
But it made me think about it.
You can't put that.
He named himself that.
Yeah.
Nasir Jones was
Like you
given
chose
that name.
a hell of a name.
Yeah,
You chose a hell of a name.
He's a troller.
Yeah.
He's a troll.
He's a king troll. Oh man. On the lighter note,
shit.
did y'all see the Space Jam trailer?
didn't.
I saw the trailer.
Yeah, how you feel about it?
I feel like, why do they keep putting the Iron Giant in like all these movies? Like, yo, they slipped him into this one. I'm like, what does he have to do with any of this shit?
It's Warner Brothers, yo. They
just throw him in. Like, just to feel nostalgic, but
hey, it's just like when Marvel be throwing Stan Lee into the movies. Like, like, dude, we really need Stan Lee in the movie.
He created that shit. He created that shit though.
But he's
It's
so
Yeah, but it did make me realize like Iron Giant was a pretty damn good movie, yo. For what it was, yo, it was a damn good movie.
You need to rewatch these as adults and see if you have the same.
You don't think it was a great movie, dog? Oh no,
Watch it as adults.
Yeah.
I think he does have a point with that. You know, I very seldomly watch him as adults, and I'm like, man, that would change how I think about it.
They were made for me as a kid.
Right.
They were made for
Point. Both got a point.
You can't still claim it to be good as an adult if you haven't watched it as an adult.
It was a great
It did
kids
its job.
movie. It was a great kids movie.
When I was a kid.
It was a great movie.
We didn't know it.
All right, Jerry.
So are y'all going to watch this new Space Jam? Are y'all messing with it at all? LeBron James?
Has LeBron acted in any other,
He did, but he's always like.
He played LeBron James.
Yeah.
He's never not been LeBron James.
He don't need to play nobody else.
Yeah, like, well, in this, he's still playing LeBron James.
I think it
Whatever.
further.
I think they gave him a fake son. They gave him a.
Yeah.
they-
Hold on, it's not even his actual son.
It's not his actual son.
It
They-
definitely could have been his
His sons are famous. Why can't you put his sons in the movie? I would see it if Bron
He said, "Fuck Ronnie."
I think it definitely furthers this conversation of the GOAT. I'm gonna do the, I'm gonna do the same movie you do, but your mind sell more, But just my opinion.
I'll see it, but I don't think it's going to sell more than at the time. Like, cause at the time that the original Space Jam came out, I think like Michael Jordan, I think he was retired, but he was still like at the height of his powers at that point. Like,
It was in between like his two retirements. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he was still like, perceived as he's still the GOAT.
Yeah, he's still
but like at that time he was the GOAT, and it looked like he could still, give you buckets at the time. You know what I'm saying? But with LeBron, I think he's not this generation's like teenagers GOAT. I don't know. Like like. You have to think about how old LeBron actually
so
is.
Who would be
There's a generation of superstars
but
after
he's
him
been
now.
playing in the NBA since 2003.
But that's my
so
point.
16-year-olds have been watching LeBron be the best player in the league their
all
entire
they know
life.
I'm saying, look, there was a time for Mike, there was a time for Kobe, Kobe and the AI. Then there was a time for LeBron. I think now there's like there's a whole nother segment now.
Who's the best player in the league right now?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Well, I think the best player right now that's balling out. Well, he's the MVP. I think he would have been the MVP if he wouldn't have got hurt. But he's not the GOAT. Like Joel Embiid.
My God.
Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Like he is.
Yeah.
But he's a big man. Like that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, but he's a big man, so they're not really. I think you got Joel Embiid, Giannis. You got Giannis, but there's a whole. My point was there's a whole generation that like kids are going to emulate after LeBron James. They're in the league now, like that's why I said Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, new generation current right now.
But the new generation doesn't have anybody yet.
I just said Joel.
And
Giannis is a two-time MVP
and has
back-to-back
and has tanked in the finals. Well, in the Eastern Conference Finals, they haven't got to the finals.
They look up to that nigga, man.
I don't think so.
I
think it's hard to look up to someone where physically you can't do you can't repeat. You can't be 7 foot and fast as fuck.
They look up
can't
to
be like LeBron.
And then
you're more likely to be a LeBron than you are to be Giannis, who grew 3 years,
too.
3 inches within his first year in the league.
Well, here's the thing. Here's another one too, because you got people that fuck with LeBron heavy, and even though I don't think he's the best player in the league, but he's just his icon, like his iconic status because he changed the game. Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
Yeah. But because he's small. People can shoot little kids can shoot the 3 ball just like him. So that goes to your point. Like you can emulate Steph Curry, but even when you're 10.
Have y'all ever really truly watched
Kyrie Irving's like highlights and actually watch how the way he flows with the basketball.
Another guy who came after LeBron. Like there's a whole.
But he won that.
But the thing is, you can come after somebody, but if you don't supersede what they've done, you can't take you can't take the reins after them. Like Kyrie, unfortunately, is not going to take the reins after LeBron. If KD stays healthy, he's the next in line. But he's too close to LeBron in age. To be
that's why I didn't say him. That's why I didn't say him at all.
And Joel's not consistent enough.
James Harden
James Harden's up there too because
there was James Harden
up there.
The only thing about James Harden, in terms of his legacy, is his first 5 years in the league, he came behind KD and Russ, and everybody else that we consider as even top 5 never took second seat to anybody.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of quantify it because by all technical standards, like if you're looking at straight stats, Russell Westbrook should be on that list. He's the only person to accomplish what he accomplished as far as triple doubles,
but never won.
That it depends on how you look at it because
it's subjective.
Because like what point guard has done what he's done, like it hasn't. So when he did it once, and Oscar did it once,
but he won the championship when he
did it. And Stephen A had a point. Like look at the teammates he had. You know, I mean, you have a KD, you have a
But Russ wasn't putting up those numbers when he didn't have those. So like his numbers are good because he has nobody. So he's one of the few people that like you can throw him on a team of scrubs, and he's still gonna put up his numbers.
But y'all not gonna get a championship. I get what you're saying.
But I mean, it's a lot of players that are considered top 50 with no championships. In the last 30 years, it's really only been like the same 10 people win a championship.
Yeah, but this Space Jam's not gonna be good as the last one. That's my point.
The first one.
That's
that first one.
They should have stopped that one.
Honestly, I think this one might be better.
Word?
Yeah. Why you say that? Honestly, I don't have no real backing behind it. I just feel like it's 2021.
Man, yo,
things get better.
He had all the CGI and shit.
Hell yeah, that shit was looking super fancy.
Right. Luckily, I already have HBO Max, so I don't have to put extra money into this film.
Real talk. It come out like July something?
Yeah, something like that.
I'll check it out, man.
I'll check it out because we're going to have to talk about
it. Real shit. Alright, anything else in the culture? Do we really want to talk about Cash Dog in 6 seconds? What's her name? I'm sorry.
I don't know what her
Cash Me Outside.
I don't know what her
Cash Me Outside.
I don't know what her real name or her rap name is, but it's Cash Me Outside.
It's Bad Baby.
But ain't it spelled? It's like B-H-A.
Yeah, it's Bad Baby.
White bitch. Yo, come on now. I don't get it because, for real, because if it was a black girl, they were like, this ghetto bitch trying to be like, you gonna be a ghetto ignorant white bitch. Why? Like, what?
It's crazy though.
So the reason that we bring her up is because y'all creep ass niggas made her a millionaire in 6 hours because she just turned 18 like Tuesday.
Like y'all were waiting at y'all computer, waiting behind y'all phone, like she's about to turn 18.
The fact that y'all really making hoes like
that's horrible.
Rich off OnlyFans is already upsetting me, but
let them know how you feel.
That's like right there.
And this was the same girl that really started off of like the Dr. Phil.
Yeah, Cash Me Outside.
Yeah.
Who told her mother, Cash Me Outside.
Cash Me Outside.
How about that?
Yeah.
I would have even got the first 2 words out at my mother.
America is crazy.
It's so crazy because you got her and the girl Woe Vicky.
Yeah,
the Woe Vicky girl.
You're way too into.
She makes money off. I don't know.
I know about because when I. All right, I know who she is. So
you know a verse like a song.
No, I don't know any of their music. I know them from just social media.
When you see one, the other one comes up.
They literally if you search one, you're gonna find information on the other. Yeah.
And I think
and the Shade Room doesn't miss. Yeah. Shade Room don't.
I don't follow that cancer. That's cancerous right there.
The Shade Room?
Yes. That's detrimental to the black community right there.
That's nigga news, yo.
Nigga news. I don't ever want to be on the Shade Room.
Oh my God.
This is a good warm up.
Well, look, the shade room's not all bad. It let me know. It gave me an updated status on DMX. So it's you know, kept me updated.
They be having some good stuff on it.
You know, prayers up with the shade room emblem at the top. You know,
The shade room emblem. Prayers ain't going nowhere. It's going straight to where Lil Nas X is. Prayers going nowhere.
right.
All right, yo, this is not on our rundown for the intro for real, but it just hit me, so I think we might try to talk about this.
All right.
Soulja Boy, he dropped a new dance on TikTok and went #1.
Well, Soulja Boy's a genius, bro. I gotta be honest with you.
As much shit as we talk about Soulja Boy, he's a legend, yo.
Yeah.
Soulja Boy, yo, big soldier, yo.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Like the stunt. Oh, okay, we gonna
Yo,
talk about
yo,
that.
yo, yo,
Okay, so the stunt on the Breakfast Club was genius.
Oh yeah.
Dre.
Everyone know about that.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Hell yeah.
He can market the shit out
everything
of
that
himself.
he talks about, he's actually like 100% right. Like, you know, the first person to make, you know, millions off of YouTube, and you know, so whenever he has his hands on it, because he's in he write a lot of music too. Whenever he has his hands on it, it turns into gold. So, you know,
just like
I'm not surprised.
This TikTok, it surprised the shit out of me. You know? That everybody really doing this joint,
Yeah.
and he back.
He's
He
bigger
said
than
Soulja Boy and TikTok
Big
and I
you.
is completely clocked out.
What'd you say?
We all knew the
He said
crazy
Soulja Boy and TikTok and I clocked out.
So he's bigger than the beatbox guy now. The beatbox challenge dude.
He might be, yo.
That's crazy.
Yo,
But
y'all
there's
want
like a new dance craze every 2 months.
Yeah.
y'all want to crank the Soulja Boy though.
I was in the teen club.
Yeah,
I definitely was.
like he.
But when I was young, I was stupid. I thought Space Jam was good when I was young.
It was made for you. It was made for you.
Little Bow Wow was hot. There's a whole bunch of things that didn't age well. Soulja Boy is one of them.
Yo.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but he definitely got to respect what he has done, especially when it comes to the internet.
Have y'all ever checked his lives out though, bro?
No.
It's so draining. Like he's like, man, I'm the first one to do this, nigga. This, that. You like, man,
For
calm
those
down, bro.
reasons,
Yeah.
I would never check out his life.
Yeah,
But he's a legend.
Yeah.
I wouldn't check out his stuff.
He just want that respect on his name.
Yeah, and I get it, but it's just like, bro.
He can just collect his royalties and shut the
Yeah,
fuck
shut
up.
up.
That's all I'm saying. I'm like,
Yeah.
I think his demeanor ruins him.
yeah.
His demeanor ruins him. Like,
Well, and unfortunately, in rap, you gotta stay popular, and since he can't do it on his own, he gotta do some stupid shit. To
but
stay popular.
like he doesn't know how to bow out gracefully.
Yeah.
Like the
How
one
many
thing,
actually do?
I mean, well, you know who did? Like, and he was like a one-hit wonder. Like, this is gonna be random. Like Chameleonaire.
Oh.
Like,
Maybe it was not a
gracefully.
one-hit wonder.
Like he had a small, short little run, but he bowed out.
Yeah, he did his 2 years and was like, "Fuck this rap
He
shit.
said, I got what I need. And he
I'm gonna invest in
He said,
tech.
fuck
Yeah.
this rap shit."
All that stuff.
That's a good
Man,
example. That's a good example.
Just
And it was like even to go to R&B, you got somebody. I think someone was playing with him, talking about him doing the verses. Ray J, he was realistic about like, nah, I don't got enough hits for that, but go buy my products. Like I'm doing this now. I have my own shows. I have this. I have that. Like you got these guys. I'm like, look, my time's up with music, but I'm gonna do something else. Soulja Boy should have been done that.
Yeah.
Like he should have did that a while ago. He would have been fine. He'd had his respect.
Yeah.
Like you know.
It surprised me that Ray J owns Suge Knight's catalog or something like that.
That's what?
He owned the
Ray-
rights to Death Row, to the
Yeah,
Death
yeah.
Row story. So
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ray
that's
J
what I'm
owns
saying.
Low key.
I just don't want him to make the movie.
Let
someone else make the movie.
Somebody else. I'm cool with it being in your hands, but
We don't need to
just
see that
give
on
it
my
up
time.
when necessary. Yeah.
Yeah, dog.
Oh man, this was a good intro, fellas.
Yeah.
Anything else y'all want to touch on?
Let's get into it.
Yeah, because everything else is just negativity and chaos, so we ain't gonna do that.
Right. All right, yo. So we're gonna take a short little break and we're gonna get into our main topic, man. We're talking about the state of masculinity. What does it mean to be a man in today's society, yo? It's a crazy world. We got people like Lil Nas X.
Give a lap dance to Satan.
And he's dancing with the devil, dancing on the devil.
Literally.
Right. I think he danced on.
But then he killed him at the end, so I mean,
I was about to say that, but
He did kill him.
He did kill him. I ain't seen him.
he's a super Christian. He killed
All right,
him.
on that note,
He killed the
yeah,
whole- Ain't that the whole fight? He He killed the devil.
Cut the
Nigga
camera.
like shit. All right, man. This is a good conversation right here, man. This is the one for real. The state of masculinity.
I like how you intro that. This is the one.
This is the one. You know? This is what y'all all been waiting for, ain't it? All right, man. So what we really want to talk about is what does it mean to be a man today in today's society? It's like you just look at the media. Like I said earlier, we have examples of little Nas X and just the antics of is he a masculine man? And knowing that he has a lot of followers, a lot of people following him, masculinity can be defined in
Different ways. Yeah.
And I think it's really important for men to really define being masculine on their own and really just to learn to stand in that as a man. So we're going to chop it up. Just start off, how would y'all define being a masculine man?
Well, I think part of that is like you do have to define it for yourself, but the only way you can define it for yourself is to be bold enough to be an individual. Like, yeah, you have to know how to take instruction when necessary, but at the end of the day, like, when you live your life, you have to do what you feel is right morally, and walk to the beat of your own drum as a man. Like, I think that's definitely imperative, because if you spend your whole life following and just doing what's next, that's not masculine energy at all. I don't believe that is how a man should carry themselves. Like, you have to, in some way, shape, or form, throughout your life, be a leader. If not to other people, at least for yourself. Like, find your own way.
That's cool. Anybody else got a definition of being a masculine man?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to go down the road. So, you want to go?
I'll go next. Yeah, along the lines of Sonny, where this might be another conversation. We got alpha male versus beta male, because it's a lot of beta male that think they're alphas, and they really just be around women all day, so that's why they think that they're alpha males. But yeah, a masculine man, really, like we said, you gotta be able to stand on your own. The word that comes to mind really is integrity, where, we're gonna fuck up, but as long as you're sincere at all times, I think that's kind of the most, like, masculine you can be. Like, whatever you say at that time. I think Malcolm X has a quote where he said, whenever I said something at that time, that's 100% what I felt. Even if he was wrong, like, he'll go back and apologize, but he never wasn't, like, sincere in whatever he had to say.
I said what I said.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to be pretty long-winded, so
Yeah,
I just wanted to ask you.
No, you got it.
You going to answer?
I was going to touch on one other thing if you didn't.
Go ahead. I'm hosting.
Okay. I think there's one thing that, like, something like a saying that's strictly, like, pertaining to men, and I think we said it before, a man's word is his bond. And I think that kind of leads to, like, even what Dre said, like even though you would like a woman to be as honest as possible, they don't have that saying for women. They don't have that. They say that strictly for men. A man's word is his bond, so that is an imperative piece to being a man. In my opinion. So I just wanted to at least touch on that.
Okay. All right, so for me, it's, again, guys, I'm going to be long-winded on this one. This is my topic. I kind of teach men how to be men. With the small platform I have, it's going pretty much worldwide. So the first thing about, like, being a man, I will say, masculinity is the first thing, but when it comes to masculinity is given through the Most High. All right, I don't know what you guys believe in, but the two most masculine men that I've ever come in encounter with is my father and my God. All right, now to be a man, you must see one. All right, whether that's a coach, whether that's a father, an in-home father, whether it's a stepfather, or whatever the case may be. The second thing is there is no masculinity without your God, because He is, I would say the ruler of all things, especially when it comes to masculinity. Now, masculinity, right? you can't see it, you can't hear it. I don't care how much muscles you have. I don't care how much women you have. It just is what it is. The second case in point I wanted to make is, you know, masculinity is not something that you can practice. It's not on you, it's in you. You know, a masculine man comes from masculine thoughts, masculine outlooks on life. You see what I'm saying? You touched on beta male and alpha male. You know, I think alpha male is explained in different ways. You know, I hear a lot of people talk about it. And to be honest with you, like I said, the most alpha is the most high. You know what I mean? If you know how to submit to God, then you can have, you know, women, even men, if you will. Because if you're a boss, sometimes, you know, your employees submit to you as well. You know, alpha male is a leader of men, correct? Mm-hmm. You know, and if you're a natural born leader, you know, that's what actually makes people see that masculinity. It's not how you smell, it's not how you talk, it's not how you look. It just is what it is. It's just like, you know, femininity.
Yeah, I like that. It's not what you are, but like it's within you.
Yeah, it's within.
So what would be some behaviors or attributes that we can, you know, identify when we see a masculine man?
Confidence.
Yes. Confidence is the first thing.
Like, yeah.
Because if you're not confident in yourself, how can you be confident in your followers and in your surroundings? Mm-hmm. If you can't control yourself, how can you ever expect to control your family or people that come under you in business? Mm-hmm. You see what I mean? So you know, confidence is definitely, you know, first step. Yes.
Yeah. And it bleeds.
Yeah.
Like confidence bleeds out of you. You can tell them. You can tell, like, you know, even in the walk. If you're walking around and you just head down to the ground like this, woe was me. Yeah. Like they can tell. Like you, like nigga, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. So my problem with it is I'm masculine as fuck. So like you know, every time I talk to a woman, her first thing is, you know, why are you being so mean and things like that? No, I'm not being mean. I'm being me. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I'm not practicing this. This is who I am. You see what I'm saying? Right. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I think women, you know, they're so used to, like you said, they're so used to beta males because it's more betas than alphas. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy for you to say, okay, I'm alpha, but do you actually feel that? Do you actually live that? Do you see what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, you know, they'll think that's where that toxic masculinity comes into play, because it's a fine line between you actually being masculine and you actually being toxic. My thing is, a
lot of the toxic masculinity is like it's pretend masculinity. So whenever you pretend you gotta overperform, and by you overperforming, you hurt people. Where true masculinity, pure masculinity, is not gonna hurt anybody.
And somebody want to touch on because what he said is you know, it stuck out to me because, you know, a lot of times women don't know if it's a facade or if it's really you, you know, per se. But guys will pick up on that really fast. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's how you walk, it's your aura, it's how you talk. But more so morality, your morals, mm-hmm. how you look a man in the eye, how you shake his hand, how you talk to him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even how you look at life. Period. Mm-hmm. You know, masculinity. Can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah, of course.
What is the difference between a boy and a man?
Accountability.
Okay. We got accountability.
I would say the responsibility that they feel to their counterparts, to their community.
Okay. You got one, host?
I would say the difference between a boy and a man is a man will save responsibilities and hold on to them, stay accountable.
So I asked this question a lot, you know, and you know, I came up with my own answer. My own answer wasn't better than the one I heard. All right. So my answer was a boy. First off, a boy thinks with his head down there, but a man thinks with his head up here. Mm-hmm. And someone countered that, and they said, man, that's true. What I think the difference between a boy and a man is, it's a boy's job to learn how to become a man from a man, and it's a man's job to learn how to teach a boy how to be a man.
That's solid.
And so
That is really solid.
you know, manhood is
It's evolution, man.
just like we talked about in the beginning. You know, just getting better.
It's a process.
Yeah, it's a process.
It's like, and I think with men, we are in a place where we have to find and build our skills.
Yeah.
And you know, with women, you know, they tend to be in a position where they are the nurturers, and they whatever they get, they make better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as men and being masculine, we have to choose that. We have to figure out, you know, where we're gonna be masculine in, and what are we gonna do about it, and really just using our masculinity in a positive way. You know, I feel like.
Well, I think if you not, it's not pure masculinity if it's affecting like your community or your area negatively.
True.
It's like
Give
it's
example
that
if you
fate. So we talked about Soulja Boy earlier, where it's like anytime that we see him, he's overperforming his masculinity. Like if you're a real man, you don't have to say, "I did this shit. I'm the first one." Nah, like it's really crazy. I'm reading a book about Nipsey Hussle right now, and they talk about like when he was like 14, like he was like his brother was already making money like hustling t-shirts. He was like, "Nah, that's your hustle. I'm gonna go do my own thing, and I'm not gonna tell nobody that, oh, this is my brother's shit, we all together." No, I'm Nipsey Hussle, and I'm gonna do it my way.
Anybody want to add to that? Because it definitely made me think about something.
I mean, I can kind of add, and that goes to, you know, the ability to have a confidence in yourself. You have to have confidence to fail, too. Like when you tell that Nipsey Hussle story, he could have gone the safe route. My brother already laid out the path for me. I'm gonna just latch on and try to, you know, build and help him do that. But let me do my own thing. Let me go here. I may fail, but so what? I'm failing doing my own thing and trying to figure out like what my hustle is and what I'm gonna do and what my path is. So I think when we talk about the state of masculinity today, because so much of our lives are exposed to the public, and because we want to have an image of success, we are more afraid to fail than ever.
And I don't even think we want to have the image of success, because I think we want to have like that picture perfect version of success that doesn't exist. Like all these people that we idolize, from Malcolm X to Martin Luther King to anybody, if you go back over their life, it was
messed
rough,
up a lot,
right?
And they also messed up a lot. Like what was Malcolm X moniker before he was Malcolm X? Like wasn't he like
Detroit Red?
Detroit Red? Like he was a different man.
Completely different man. 17 years old, hanging with prostitutes, doing drugs, all types of stuff.
But my thing about Malcolm X, since y'all talked about it, like what I seen in him was he was unmovable. You see what I'm saying? Like it was no way. Okay, so difference between, and I hadn't asked this question, the difference between men and women. Women are emotional, men are logic. You see what I'm saying? It's no way, and that's not the only difference, guys. Right. You know, but it's one of the biggest things.
In terms of character.
Yes. And so when I look at a masculine man, a leader, if you will, you know, I would think about Malcolm X, because he was unrattled, unmovable. You see what I mean? It was no way you can touch his emotion and you know, just make him do something that he didn't envision himself doing. You know. So that's what I, you know, when y'all brought up Malcolm X, I thought about that.
It's like you got your standards and you got to stand by them no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, and they talk about
stand
how
on your convictions.
A lot of people, like the leaders that we look up to, they always died broke because they were unwilling to sell out. They could have easily made millions of dollars in the 50s and 60s.
It's
crazy money. But because they refused to sell out, unfortunately the community didn't hold them up. They died broke. But ultimately, they died as men.
Can I ask one more question to y'all? Like, do y'all think masculinity has changed in today's time versus back then?
I don't think masculinity has changed. I think it's not accepted as much.
Yeah, I think sometimes we use the term masculinity, toxic masculinity, alpha male, beta male. We throw those terms around like
hyper masculine. All that.
That's the new one I heard.
Yeah, what the hell?
Honestly, that's basically being it's another form of toxic.
I think though,
to the extreme.
If you add toxic or hyper to it, you're more toxic or hyper than you are masculine. Yeah. Just my opinion.
It's not pure masculinity.
Yeah, it's not pure. So you can't you can't tell me what my masculinity is by using toxic or hyper masculinity. You see what I'm saying?
I think the world has changed so much that they want almost like a masculinity and femininity to be fluid. Like there are sectors out there, they just want it to be so fluid. Like, oh yeah, well, I can be the you know, like a woman could be in a relationship with a dude. Well, I'm the more masculine one. He's actually more feminine. I'm like, what? What they do? That's like, what they do that at?
For a man to even let a woman like,
Right.
like,
But I mean,
But you see that. You
Yeah,
actually see that in
I mean, you
couples
see it,
and
but also it's because women have experienced what a man thought when a man thought he was masculine or he was pretending to be masculine, and she didn't like that because he wasn't really masculine. So her idea of masculinity isn't like an actual. It's not a true depiction of masculinity. So she wouldn't want to be around anyone who self-proclaims themselves to be masculine when your experience with self-proclaimed masculinity is bad. So why would she want to be around that when her experience with masculinity are all negative experiences? She's going to sway towards more feminine men.
yeah.
And honestly, it's like it's beta males who, you know, want to be alpha males, and in order to do that, they have to be like conniving and lie to people and all types of crazy stuff.
Well, that's not necessarily like. Well, they don't know that they don't have to do that. Like
No, they do. No, they do. Like the people like the Jeffrey.
But that
Epstein,
doesn't.
like you know that you
no-
can't stand
you
up
can't
in a
say
room by
You can't
around
say
real
that.
men.
And then, like, you can't say they have to do that because that would not make them alpha. Like, that wouldn't make them.
But they're not
Yeah,
alpha.
yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
point. Like they're not real alpha men.
But do we all understand the difference between alpha male and beta male?
Like, yeah,
I mean,
okay.
somebody break it
I
down.
guess.
'Cause we got good listeners.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, you know, alpha male, of course, is leader of men. The way he look at life, you know, pure masculinity. And the beta is the opposite. The way, you know, the way he looks at life is, okay, through the lenses of a woman. I think a beta male is a female in a male's body. You see what I'm saying? You know.
In a nice way, I consider a beta male like passive, like extra passive.
Yeah,
That's why I say a
Yeah.
female in a male's body.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah. So it's just like in a sense they really don't move, but they let the things happen to them. Happen to them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It really
And
passes.
then if
That's
it does
female.
happen to them, because like shit happened to us as like alpha male, but we take it on the chin and we keep
Yeah.
moving. We're not blaming nobody for
Exactly.
shit that happens to us. Beta male will try to find an excuse as to why something happened.
Why something didn't work out. Like, I always think about it like this, and this kind of is like almost like a motivation. Like, at the end of your life, like, I always believe that, like, let's say things didn't work out the way you wanted to, and you gotta meet your creator, and they say, like, you know, like, well, God, my life didn't turn out this way because of this person and that person, and I truly, firmly believe God will say it was your life to live, and it's your responsibility to do what you had
You have
to
to
do.
hold yourself accountable.
Exactly.
It's a versatile violence.
And
I
I
was always
keep that in
blaming
the
that shit
forefront.
on somebody.
Always keep that in the forefront of my mind. So I'm like,
Like, good.
that actually like makes me like continuously like if you have that in the forefront of your mind, like, you know, and the longer you have something, you know, like you do something enough, it becomes a habit. If you have that mindset, like, look, I'm accountable for my life. I have to, like, you know, I have to take control of this, right? And then that pushes you out of a victim mentality. Because when you think like that, then it gives you back control over your life.
Yeah.
If you're saying I'm not where I need to be because of someone else, then that means the only way in your mind that something can change is if something else changes.
And that's a big man.
And really to go down to where you started off, where it's like as an alpha male, you're supposed to be a reflection of God in some sort. God not blaming nobody for something that's
I did this. That's really big. Even when you mess up, like as a man being masculine, it's really claiming it. Like that happened, I did that, but we gonna fix this shit.
Hold yourself accountable.
That's-
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like every time I get into a situation, whether it be female, job related, where I'm at, my trajectory in life, I'm like, man, it's no one else's fault but mine. Like the type of, I feel like the type of female that you deal with is a reflection of you, and I teach my guys that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of consultations with guys across the world, and one of the biggest questions I get all the time is, you know, how do I become a better man? How do I get my ex back and stuff like that? And I'm like, dude,
why I ain't gonna go. Like, why are you trying to get your ex back? You really ain't got your shit together.
Exactly. And so they, she cheated on me, like what's wrong with me? Dude, first off, you shouldn't even gotten into the relationship with the woman in the first place. But
since we did,
but I'm making money off of it, so I gotta talk to him in a way, because with alpha males you can just talk freely, but like you said, there's more betas in the world than there is alpha.
That's just natural. Like if you look at any like species where they have alphas and betas, like in wolves. You got one alpha male that running back, fucking all the males in the back, and you got the beta males that they know that if they step out of line, it's over. So they just comfortable in their position, but ain't none of them ever trying to be alpha males because they already know that's your net.
I can't add to it. You said
that's your net.
You got. It look like you want to say something.
But in our society, we can't come at the next one.
There's so many sayings. There's so many sayings like heavy is the head that wears the crown. Like when power invites conflict. Like that's what it does. So if you're an ant, nobody cares about the ant. But if you're fucking Thanos, if you're everybody's like, oh, we gotta take this big motherfucker out. Like when you have that aura about yourself, you're going to invite conflict, and then what makes you a man is how you fight, how you deal with conflict.
And once you touched on conflict, that was something that I had to learn. Again, I can't stress it enough that I'm still young. You see what I'm saying? At one point, I would just kind of just complain about the conflict. Now I'm facing it head on, thinking about myself. Like, okay, one thing I've seen about myself is the power of smiling and being welcoming. You know what I mean? So this is what I want to talk to you guys about today when it comes to being an alpha male and masculinity and everything. A lot of guys get it mixed up. They think that, masculinity means you have to be sitting over in the corner being a mutant and mugging everybody and everything like that. That's not
the hardest guy in you.
That's pretending.
Like you said, I'm big on God. I'm going to always bring it back to God. Like, God doesn't bless, the persona of you. He blesses who you are as a person. You see what I'm saying? So you being over there and in this mood because you think that that's going to make people scared of you. Actually, you bringing more harm than blessings at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's like a silent bark.
Yes,
you just barking loud as hell with your face.
Yeah,
nobody better not come over here. Yeah, really, what you saying? I'm scared as fuck. I need to intimidate the people around me.
So when I talk to you guys about being an alpha male, I'm not saying you need to be over there like the Terminator. It's okay to smile. It's okay to welcome guys and everything like that. That doesn't make you a beta male. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you have to be comfortable in your surroundings as well and make other people comfortable in theirs. So, just understand it's a fine line between being, a thug versus being, you know what I'm saying? You being an alpha male. Alpha male doesn't mean thug, you ready to bust somebody's head as soon as they say something.
Well,
that's not that.
That's beta males performing.
I think that
they get it mixed up.
When you like yourself and when you fuck with you, a lot of stuff happens so naturally. You won't let yourself get played if you like you. I'm looking out for the best interest of me. I like me. So so much stuff happens when you're having a good time, you don't feel self-conscious about being the nigga that's smiling or something. I'm having a good time. I'm having fun in my space.
Right. But bro, you meant to say, I fucking love me. Y'all don't gotta like him, me, or anybody sitting here. I fucking love me.
I think that's a part of it. That's the part of the thing. Nobody on this planet should fuck with you harder than you fuck with yourself.
Yo, say it again.
That's real.
So I'm going to move on just a little bit. I want to discuss the difference between being toxic and being masculine, and how
this fucking line that you talking about right
but
now.
we have to talk about just toxic masculinity has been on the rise. That's a conversation that's continuously going, especially the last three.
Spread faster than COVID.
You know what I'm saying? And it's whatever. It seems like the conversation of being toxic is happening more than just being a pure masculine man. So how will we break that? How can we divide that?
Great question.
dude who's toxic, he's a poser. He's a poser. He's like, you know, I wouldn't even call him a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's a sheep in wolf's clothing. You feel me? You fake it like you're a pack leader, but you're not. And you can tell because you're barking the loudest, you're trying to do all this stuff, and you're being problematic. Like your purpose, like you're doing it on purpose. Like you're trying to do something like, yeah, I'm the real man. Like for example, I think toxic masculinity is like, you know, physical and verbal abuse. Like that's toxic.
Any abuse is actually toxic.
Like, well, that's what I'm saying. So any abuse of that, and then the fact that action would make you feel like a man, you're toxic. And the problem is, like, you know, you're trying to associate yourself to dudes who have natural, like, and I wouldn't even say natural masculinity, but like dudes who actually fuck with themselves enough to know, like, hey, this isn't cool, you know, anything like that. But I think toxic is just like you're trying so hard to pose that you become toxic, like toxic behavior.
Just overdoing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess to circle back to where we began, where a good brother said, you know, masculinity is like you displaying God's characteristics. Anytime it's you doing the opposite of that, we call it toxic, but it's really like demonic, I guess, in a way where if God, who is the creator of the universe, is everything he does builds up what he created. If you are doing the opposite, we call it toxic. You call it whatever you want to, but if you're not building whatever you're putting it into, that's what we call toxic.
I like that.
But honestly, as men, that's what
I like that.
That's what you put on the earth to do. If you, and I'm sorry, if we go to other species where men run the community or whatever you want to call it, the men that are acting out are not the ones in charge of the community.
Right.
And they do that because they're not getting the attention.
Yeah.
Where straight up masculine men don't have to do nothing for the attention because he's got it.
It's in his work.
God.
It's in the work.
It's God. Like God don't have to do nothing for attention.
Yeah.
And I wanted to add to something as well. Like I think a form of toxic masculinity is asking for the rewards of like an actual masculine man. Like I think there's certain things like, you know, I think part of
even then, if you have to ask for the rewards, you haven't done the job.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, I need someone, you know, I need a woman to do this, that, and the third. But what do you actually bring to the table? What
Is
are
that
you
toxic?
actually? Huh?
Is that toxic? I just want to understand what you're saying.
So I do believe if you're asking for something, but you do not do your part, you don't play your role. You're asking for feminine rewards without bringing without doing your part. Like I think men, like their job is to build. Like your role here is to build and provide something. Like protect and provide. I think that's your role. If you are sitting on your ass and you're not doing anything, you have no ambition, you have no drive, you have none of these characteristics, but yet you ask for something, you ask for feminine rewards, you ask for these things like, oh, I need someone to do like this. You're looking for a mother. You're not looking for a mate. Like you're not looking for that at all.
Point them out.
You're not doing anything.
Point them out.
Let them know. Let them know.
You can't ask for that if you do nothing.
Okay. All right. So for me, I think, you know, toxic masculinity is a cop out for a lot of people. Again, like I told you guys earlier, I think if you put a word like toxic on masculinity, it makes it like you're more toxic than you are masculine. You see what I'm saying? So you don't matter at the end of the day anyway. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
What you saying?
yeah, you're gonna just cut out everything we just said, and you know what I mean? No, my
Turn off the podcast. Fuck them anyway. Let me go back to my game.
So when I think of masculinity, I think of femininity. When I think of both of those two, I think of energy. All right. Now, I can't fucking argue my energy. Like at the end of the day, it just is what it is. Like me being masculine is going to attract a feminine woman because I'm attracted to a feminine woman. You see what I'm saying? I'm certainly not trying to bash her verbally, physically. I'm certainly not trying to abuse her. Excuse me. That's the word I was looking for. I'm certainly not trying to abuse her, you know, verbally or physically. At the end of the day, I just know that we place too much demands on it, and at the end of the day, it really contradicts everything that we're saying. You know, just in my opinion, opinion like an asshole, everyone has, right? You know, but at the end of the day, you being toxic does not help the situation. Just like brother said, you know, you doing like you trying to abuse her is toxic. You see what I'm saying? You at the end of the day, you have to be like God. He said it. You know, the way I look at it, in my relationship is different than a 50-50 relationship. I'm, you know, her God, not big God, not, you know.
It's the little G. Yeah,
little G. At the end of the day, you see what I'm saying? I'm her God. She comes to me on a decision that she's supposed to make because it's my responsibility to think and it's her responsibility to feel. If you think about any of the type of arguments or debates that you have with your woman, she feels like, and you think this. Think about it. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, toxic masculinity. Now you're trying to make her do something. You're trying to make her do something off your feelings. You can't fight fire with fire. That's my biggest message to dating scenes today. You cannot fight fire with fire. You fight fire with what? Water. The opposite of it. So you being toxic, you're doing what she does to counteract what the fuck she's doing. It doesn't make sense. So that's my problem with toxic masculinity. You're more toxic than you are masculine. Yeah. If they can even. And last thing, sorry guys. The last thing I wanted to say, I do think that it's very easy for a woman to say, "Oh, this is toxic masculinity." You know what I mean? It's a cop out. You know, it's very easy.
I think
to say.
putting the word toxic in front of masculinity, it's not masculinity. Yeah. You just call it toxic masculinity.
Toxic. You might as well call it toxic.
You don't have another name to identify the energy that he's giving you. But
I agree with that. Yeah.
Usually it's a man giving feminine energy, and you call it toxic masculinity because it's coming from a man.
We all get it.
This is a good conversation, man.
Yes, and this is different opinions from different, like-minded brothers.
I've never met this brother day in my life. This is the first time I met him.
Yeah,
this is weird. I know this be the crew, but I'm just saying. Yeah, and honestly,
any good comments from the fifth mic?
Hold on.
We got a comment. Hold on.
All right, brother, we got a guest on the mic.
Yeah, I'm sorry for being a hidden guest, but everybody call me Sean. Right? I listen to all your points and everything like that. I totally agree with all of them. But now the topic y'all talking about, what is it to masculinity and what is a man? Mm-hmm. Everything I heard was always a point of dealing with a relationship. A man, in my eyes, is supposed to be solely provider and a protector. Mm-hmm. Correct? Mm-hmm. And also, I agree to what he was saying very strongly, because I see he's very passionate about this. But there's a difference between, you said, alpha male and a beta male. But when there's a man, none of that means nothing. Mm-hmm. What makes a man is a man must know how to submit, share his emotion, which gets confused by a female or other men by their opinion, like, oh, he's sharing his emotion. Mm-hmm. Just like adding on to what you were saying as well. Oh, yeah, I said that thing, you're the hardest person in the room. No. It's okay to be a man and cry. It's okay to be a man speak his feelings. It's not all about being dominant and strong, voice of opinion. Mm-hmm. Sometimes being a man, you're going to be vulnerable, but sometimes being a man, just sit back and listen. Because just like one thing I want to pick up on, all four of y'all made a comment on. Y'all all agreed on it, but y'all use different point of views. Nobody knows what a real man is. A man is coming in from within themselves. Mm-hmm. Can be taught, but another man can only teach another man how to become a man to a certain point. Then he must have to turn over and take a step back. That's what's coming from a boy to a man. A man gonna show him, give him the tools, and show him the things to show him how to provide in this world and live in this world. But it's his job to take them tools and to turn into his own man. Mm-hmm. Because you can raise a man but he might not be a man.
Right.
He might just be a person. If that's difficult for me, for that to say is, let me break it down. It's pretty simple in my eyes.
Yeah.
You got categories. Everybody has an opinion on what is a man. What's a toxic man? A toxic masculinity, that's a word that was created by a female to insult a man intelligence and insult a man. A man should be able to take that and realize, okay, she's entitled to
Her
opinion. And what a man's supposed to do is listen. If we want to add man in this relationship, because a lot of this, it's very simple to deviate off topic when it's talking about a man, because they're so quick to input a female. A man should be able to stand on his own without a female.
Gotta do that first.
That's like one thing he was saying very strictly on. I gotta love myself. If I don't love myself, if I don't experience myself, or if I don't listen to myself, and if I don't open my eyes and see where I'm going on, how can I teach somebody else? How can I love somebody else? How can I do all of this? Yeah, it's times where an alpha male has to realize that he might have to take a step back and become a beta male, as y'all words are doing. But sometimes that can be used as a learning curve. Because just recently, I had to get my shit together. And I had to realize my shit stank. And I'm be honest with you, like, I have no problem admitting that, but I had to realize to myself, like, okay, cool. I felt like I was an alpha male. That was just a feeling. A beta male is a feeling. But knowing when, or a real man will know when to take a step back, just like I said, realize his shit stink, he's out of order, think about it, cool. All his friends or whoever, the crew he roll, oh man, you weak, this, that, and the other. But a real man is always thinking and listening. And a weak female, a weak-minded person will speak. It's all mouth. That's why I sat back before I even asked for a mic. I listened to everything which you were saying. I'm still to this day. I don't consider myself being an alpha male. I don't consider myself being a feminine male. I consider myself being a man. And I'm always learning to protect my craft, make my craft better.
Right.
So, and that's what it is. It's all about the experience, because that's one thing y'all keep thinking you miss. I believe you said, what is a man, or what is well, I forgot exactly what you said. You said every one of y'all listed one thing. But one thing all of y'all all forgot. I'm not preaching to you, talking to you. I'm talking to you as men.
Yeah.
Time, experience, and faith. And one thing, if you believe in God, put it in God's hands. That's it.
That's it.
It's simple. It's a lot of categories that make it hard, but being a man is simple. Living in today's time, we get caught up on what we see on the TV, on the news, or what this person say, what that person say, or what this actor's doing, etc. So, and that messes up with people's opinions of what a man is. And one of the strongest things in here, in this room right now, is a black man. I'm gonna touch that topic briefly, because a black man was one of the first things out here that they were so afraid of. They found ways to take us out of our homes. They found ways to put us in chains. Even still to this day, time repeats itself. If you look at it, a white police officer, I don't want to offend none of y'all guys, but they will be afraid of a black man, even a young, small black man, trying to restore his confidence and knock his confidence down. That's one thing a man has. He come in this world with his balls and his penis and his head and his mind. When he leaves out of this world, he taking all that with him.
And some more.
And if you have kids, yeah, you're going to leave behind your kids, but it's a lot more
Brother,
to that.
I definitely want to thank you, man. That was deep. That was deep.
Yeah, man, that was
Thank y'all for my quick little input.
Yeah, man,
I'll let y'all
yeah,
carry
yeah.
back on, but hey, I will hold the mic just in case y'all want me to end.
Yes. That's awesome. That's what we got.
Yeah, we gonna anybody the last
like
word?
last words.
Yeah, what the last words?
I don't think nobody should say nothing after that for real. But
Man, fuck with yourself, man. Love you, nigga.
Honestly, man, I really like that as a conclusion, man. Just the state of masculinity and just being a man is all within you, and you know, just do it. Handle your business and do it. Stay accountable with your actions.
Just do it like Nike.
Better than like,
Not that Lord, nah.
we ain't trying to get sued.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, man. Y'all want last words?
Man, thank y'all for having me on,
Absolutely.
man. This has been
Most
great. I hope I can be on here much more.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get you back on for sure. I like it.
I like the conversations and everything like that, man. I see what y'all doing, and I want to be a part of it. So I say it on camera, man. You know, I definitely want to be a part of this, and just thank y'all a million times, man. Just keep doing what y'all doing. You know, to you, man. You know, peace and blessings to you.
we ain't done yet. This is we just about to take a break too.
Yeah, we got to take a break. Yeah.
We ain't done yet.
But I'm going. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Gotta do
That's
that.
it.
Gotta do the handshake. No fuck.
You was waiting on high. Bet. Gotcha. Nah, I ain't doing that. Alright, yo. This is a good conversation, man. A needed conversation for sure, man. Just what it is being a man and talking about the state of masculinity in today's society. So definitely appreciate everybody indulging us and our guests in the back. Yeah, we appreciate that. It was I hope it was thought provoking and really just sparked a lot of conversation and just the ideal of being a man and how to move forward for real. So just in the conclusion, we're gonna wrap it up. Any last words, Dre?
Yeah, I mean, I hope y'all learned something. We're not trying to provide like saying that we have the answers for you, but hopefully we got something that you can grasp onto, and you can go forward with it. And like our brother in the back said, you know, take that into developing yourself as a man. Because we are just speaking from our own experiences. We can't really tell you exactly what you need to do. We all got different build up and different makeup. So what worked for us might not work for you, but it could lead you to where you need to go. But that's all I really got to say.
Sonny?
Yeah, just be confident enough. Like I said before, I'll say it for the third time. Fuck with yourself enough to find your own path. Fail 100 miles an hour. Like figure out your own path, and just be confident in that. And like be confident enough to fail and then bounce back and then try again and just figure out your own way.
J Plum?
Alright, just like all of the brothers said, at the end of the day, man, better men make a better world. You know, when you change yourself, you change the world. I think Biggie said it. Better men make a, like I said, better world. I quoted him on that. But just really, at the end of the day, just like all of them said, first trust God, trust yourself. If you can't change, if you can't control, if you can't control yourself, you can't control your environment. To control the world, you have to control yourself before. So, to have control of yourself is to control the world.
That's good. Brother in the back.
Brother in the back. That's a good one. I'm going to say is this. It's just as simple. Take pride in what you do. Take pride, take time, and trust within yourself.
I love that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And that'll take you where you need to be.
And literally like everything that you do.
Everything you do. If you take pride in everything what you do, you get to the next level.
Word.
Don't be scared to take a step back. If you mess up, okay, you on the ground, get your ass back up.
Get up.
Ain't nowhere else to go but up, right?
Hey man,
if one door closes, there's 3 doors in this room.
You know what I'm
And
saying? And it's a window just in case.
The last resort is in this window. I gotta go through this window to get to the next level.
Star Wars said it best. Why do we fall? To learn to pick ourselves back up.
Yeah, y'all appreciate that.
Yo, these some fire takes today. Y'all on another level today, yo.
But we had to do it for his last reunion or whatever.
Yeah, man.
So this is definitely the part, yo. We gotta just congratulations, bro.
Yeah,
we doing
I
big
appreciate
things,
it, man.
We gonna miss you.
Hey, man, I'm still a man if I cry, right?
Damn right.
Damn right, yo. Bigger and better things.
Thank you,
yo.
brothers.
But
Thank you
back,
so
yo.
much. Absolutely, man.
And,
This is temporary, man. I'm still going. Hopefully, I should still be able to put up content on our page, on our YouTube.
Yeah.
We're still going to be producing, but just on this particular platform, there'll be a little bit of a. It's quick 6 months. Quick, yo.
It's gonna go by fast.
We're
gonna miss you.
Hey, look, when I'm down. Hey, look, I'm down Virginia Beach, man. I'm down in the area, man. And
Vacation's back.
It's about to be summer.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say. Look, I better have guests.
I was just about to, hey, is this an open emergency?
I'm already on my way.
So yeah, we gonna make it happen. But yeah, thank you, brothers. I appreciate it.
I just love to see niggas.
And thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for y'all support too.
Yeah, we couldn't do this without you guys, man.
So please follow on Instagram at WGB Podcast. Subscribe on YouTube at What's Good Bro Podcast, and we are also on Facebook. Stay in contact with us, man. We definitely moving and shaking and changing this community, man.
Yep.
That's it. Wrap it up.